This is the most amazing story I've run across in the 6 years we've been doing this. And this is about the LeRoy Golf Teams from 1999 to 2004. They took things to another level on the links from 99 to 2003 and then into 04. When they ran off, listen to this, 60 undefeated matches in a row. And they said in the paper, no offense, Nate, I don't believe this thing. You write everything else pretty good, but somebody's got to show me who did better than that in the state of New York. It's unbelievable what these guys did. Both their coaches here, Larry Reed, you heard earlier, and Amy Brotherton are here. They're responsible for those. As we did with the other team, we're going to ask one of the representatives of these players to speak for a few minutes. And then we're going to rattle off the names and we'll have certificates for everybody over here in the corner again. Now they don't know who picked this guy, but all I can say is father had his hand in my mouth, was shoving it sideways, and he said, "Who's speaking for the golf team?" I said, "Mac, what do you know we're doing?" So Mac DeGino's going to speak for these guys. Come on up, man.
Coach Brothers is going to come up as well. I'm speaking for 6 years of the team, so I'll keep this as short as I can. But first off, thank you to Mr. White, Mr. Rogers, and the entire LeRoy Sports Hall of Fame committee, and also to all our family and friends for attending this morning. Also, special congratulations to the other inductees. I'm truly honored to speak on behalf of the 99 to 04 golf teams, and we are very humbled to be part of this Hall of Fame. Our teams are extremely proud to have accomplished the 60-match win streak, but LeRoy Golf is so much more than just the matches we won on the course. Ahead of speaking today, I asked my teammates to send me any fond memories or stories from our days playing. And really 3 words came to mind when I went through those memories: community, success, and friendship. First on community. Nothing gives us greater pride than coming from LeRoy, and we owe thanks to many in the community for our success. From those that came before us on the golf course, like Marty Mills and the Kennedy boys, to those golf professionals that taught us, like Ed Mills and Eric Hiley, to those teachers that encouraged us, like Bill Tripp, Bob Zoki, Coach Brian Moran, to our family and friends. We thank them for developing us as golfers, for developing us as young men, and developing us as products and sons of LeRoy. We especially want to thank Mr. Mills and LeRoy Country Club. I know Mr. and Mrs. Mills are here today. The golf course was like a second home for many of us, where we would spend our summer days playing the course, working in the pro shop, or just playing for candy bars on the putting green. It was through Mr. Mills and others at the club that we not only learned how to play the game of golf, but we were taught to respect and honor the game, but most of all, to enjoy the game. The second word that came to mind was success. 60 consecutive wins speaks for itself, but I think it's just as important to recognize the success of our coaches during the streak, Coach Larry Reed and Coach Amy Brotherton, for what they accomplished over their entire coaching careers. From 1991 to 1999, Coach Reed compiled a record of 150 wins, only 21 losses, and 1 tie. He sent 9 different golfers to sectionals a combined 18 times, and 3 golfers to the state tournament a combined 6 times. Coach Brotherton, you've compiled a record of 82 wins with only 11 losses over your 8 seasons as golf coach, sending 8 different golfers to sectionals a combined 11 times, and 2 golfers to the state tournament. So over the 16-year period from 1991 to 2006, the LeRoy Golf Team had over 225 wins at a staggering 88% winning percentage. Pretty impressive for a small school in Western New York where the average high temperature during the spring golf season is 51 degrees. Coach Reed, Coach Brotherton, you coached us, but you also developed a culture of team success, something that's not easy in what is very much an individual sport. You made sure we were all dressed the same. You had us over to your house for holiday dinners even after we graduated. You gave us golf balls and goodie bags ahead of our matches. And you taught us to act with integrity, respect, and discipline. You also taught us that success just doesn't come on the golf course, but also about success in the classroom, in the community, and at home. So thank you. The last word that came to mind, but probably the most important, was friendship. Golf is one of the few sports where you can actually get to know your teammates and competitors very well. You're almost forced to. You're spending hours at a time together on a golf course with very little of that time actually hitting golf shots. You hope very little of that time hitting golf shots. Spending this much time together creates a lot of memories and friendships. From Brian Lyle's hole-in-one in a match in 1999, to Brad Reddy making sectionals in 2000, hitting only irons off the tee, to practicing in the snow with Andrew Daly and Brian Seeley, to Adam Stockstill, Brian Young, Pete Green, Nate Shunk, and Lou Stresko, contributing all important points from the six-man position. From Pat Smith, making sectionals 3 years in a row, to Jason Hodges' umbrella, breaking on the second hole of counties in a rainstorm, to Nick Rizzo, always being the best dressed and most meticulous golfer on the course, to the bus rides and post-match stops at Tom Wall's and Charcoal Corral. There's so many great memories that were made along the way. And those memories continue to this day, with many of us remaining good friends, and occasionally, when our time and lives allow, getting together for it. I would be remiss to not mention one member of our team that's no longer with us today, and that's Matt Van Alt. Matt passed away in 2015, far too young, but memories will last a lifetime. Golf wasn't Matt's #1 sport. That was football, of course. But Matt was someone that always donned a smile on the golf course, hit a mean 7-iron, and was a great friend. We honor Matt at a fundraising outing at LeRoy Country Club later today, and with the Matt Van Alt Memorial Golf Award that went to deserving LeRoy High School senior golfers. So in closing, every year at the Spring High School Sports Banquet, Coach Brotherton would read a short poem incorporating highlights of that year's golf season. As English was not my strongest subject and is still not, I did not even attempt to write a poem, but we thought it only fitting for Coach to close out this speech with one.
The streak of 60 wins is what brings us here today, but it's not the main thing that I recall. When I think of all these golfers who always came to play, I remember the smiles, talents, and personalities most of all. The fourth most successful program in the state is what will rise above, but that is not the feat in my mind that stands so tall. It's the faces and the moments that Matt spoke of in the future that came after the players left these halls. Larry Reed began it, and I picked up from there, but the talents of the players gave us our winning flair. The mix of funny moments, rulings fair and unfair, and the men that emerged from boys that had originally been there. Those moments from the past are carved into our lives. The moments of our lives are now the course we play. Weddings, births, and losses are part of our archives. It was a game, but now it's more day to day. The bonds are strong, the regrets are few, the tears will come and go. The game that taught us the strength of will, we cannot outgrow. We forge ahead, but linked with the past, coach and team on separate roads, but with a connection that will forever last. On behalf of the 1999 to 2004 golf teams, Larry and myself, we thank you for this time.
I forgot to bring up the names. You had a little mistake of who's going to do what here, but it's my fault. So I'm going to go back just really quickly and read the names of the guys on those golf teams. And again, we've got plaques for you over here, and then we'll get to the final things we're doing. Jordan Cunningham, Kyle Cunningham, Andrew Daly, Tim Diefenbacher, Ryan Duffy, Mike Frank, David Gartley, Chris Graybaugh, Matt Gugino, you've already seen, Andrew Hempling, Mark Herron, Robert Boo Hynette, Jason Hodge, Mike Joy, Chris Ladd, Ryan Lau, Ryan Martin, Mike Miller, Robbie Miller, Steve Palladino, Nick Rizzo, Ben Roth, Tom Saunders, Nate Shunk, Brian Seeley, Patrick Smith, Adam Stockstill, Chris Tresco, eventually Matt Van Alt, and Brian Young. Great job. Good work.